such high praise. He gave leaders, he described leaders that they work in three ways. But in politics, I was just listening to what he was saying. You know, the three approaches, we use the first two approaches. When they don't work, then we go to the third approach. That's the last resort. But problem-solving approach is the need of the day. India is a land of tremendous beauty. We are here in a beautiful campus. We have old economy industries right next to us. You see their chimneys, they're spewing smoke. But we also have here, we've created a hub of the best ideas and innovation that could be possible in one place. India tends to do things well by learning from each other. If you look at the farmer, people always struggle that why are they sowing the same crop? Why is Western UP, entire belt, only doing sugarcane? Why can't they do something else? They don't do something else because they have to be risk averse by nature, because they have to fight against the climate, against market forces, sometimes against government policies. So many things they are fighting against. They are not willing or ready, and they don't have the wherewithal to take the risk of sowing something where there's no market. So it's the information asymmetry. You go to, I don't know if you've traveled to, Ganga, Hapur, right? When you're about to, reach Ganga, you see a line of shops selling mudas. Mudas are small stools made of, traditional materials. They're woven together. Now I presume a lot of it is imported, but it's a handicraft. But you would wonder, अगर एक दुकान वो बेच रही थी, तो 100 दुकान की और क्या जरूरत थी? If there was one store selling that one product, why did 100 more stores come up there? Because the first 5-10 stores made money, and the 90 guys thought this is where we can sell this, let's go there. Or you'll go to any market in any small town or city in India, you'll see दिए बिक रहे हैं, तो लाइन लगा के सब वो दिए ही बेच रहे हैं. It is not that people are not innovating or not creating or don't have ideas. India is the land of ideas. It has always been. It is about creating a market structure that supports innovation. And that is where, like universities can harbor and harness the best innovation across different sectors and fields, multi-disciplines. That's the idea of an ideal university where research happens. Similarly, an industrial park or an industrial facility, I don't know what you want to call yourself, EMTZ, because he said, I don't know, we're a platform, we're a park. This is the core idea of when you get different enterprises making different products, could be perhaps the same sector, the kind of cross-learning and innovation that can yield, it has a great multiplier effect. I did not think this is what I was going to see when I came here, to be very honest. It was a very impromptu meeting that I had with Jitendra ji about maybe 1 month ago. And very creative, progressive Minister Shri Gadkari ji in the airport lounge. It was an early morning flight. And him and Jitendra ji were having an animated conversation in the lounge. And then Gadkari ji saw me, I saw him, namaste, namaste. He said, मैं इससे मिलवाना चाहता हूँ. And when a progressive man like Gadkari ji, who's very creative, thinks out of the box, he tells you कि ये बहुत creative आदमी है, इसकी सुनना, Jayant. I knew that I have to give him an audience. Then I met him at the ministry at Kaushal Bhavan. He was gracious enough to invite me. I had no idea this is what I'm going to see. I had no idea I'm going to be addressing a scientific community, leaders, members of industry, and even a big community of leaders from various countries who were here for 6 months traveling to India to solve problems. Something that I claim that politicians in India are not supposed to be doing. That's not our mandate, but we have to approach it. So there's a lot that we've learned. My team is here with me. We've learned a lot. And there's tremendous achievements that AMTZ and the team, particularly Jiten ji, can be proud of. Whenever I've seen people who are successful, and in my life, as a young life, I've had the privilege of meeting many successful people across different fields of walks of life, especially in politics. I find it takes a special kind of what I call a कीड़ा. हिंदी में उसे कीड़ा है, कुछ उसको रो लगा हुआ है. Sometimes I get very creative people, especially in politics, you get really idealistic young people who want to change everything, who are impatient, and they'll come to me and say, "Sir, मुझे मौका दे दो, मैं राजनीति करना चाहता हूँ." I said, "क्यों करना चाहते हो? कीड़ा है." So what I'm trying to judge is that there will be so many pain points in your journey, as an individual and as an institution, as an enterprise. All your journeys coming till here have probably taught you that lesson. At the very top, you need very impatient people who are driven like crazy. You can't expect success and 100% sanity. Unfortunately, I don't think that's how it works. So, Jitendra ji, you are a man of science, but you understood the science of men and women, how they tick, how they can be energized, how they can think creatively, how they can perform, how they can work together, harmonize together, work collectively for a joint mission and cause. So I congratulate you, I congratulate AMTZ on this achievement. But if every factory that I walk into, picture this, think मेरे साथ हुआ क्या क्या है आज? In the space of 2 hours, I walked into a reliability test center. I got myself tested for magnetic compatibility. I got humidity tested. I got integrity tested. Every test known to man for any product you would even think of, you've created that facility. Every factory I walked into, I was told that this is, we are one of the first. Sir, we are only 3 facilities in the world. We are one of the world's largest. And when you're in India and when you see enterprise, and you see ideas in action like that, it can energize you. So I just want to say it's a great date to come here. We are all eulogizing a great man of science, like all of you, someone who's a great motivator. When he was president of India, what is the one image of A.P.J Kalam ji that perhaps everyone remembers? Can anyone tell me? It's the image of him sitting with students, sitting with children, talking to children. And I was also a young person at that time. It just sparked something in all young people. Okay, who is this man? Why is the president of India spending all his time? He could have met world leaders, he probably was doing that too. But that is not the image he put out of himself. He was a scientist, a man of great accomplishment and achievement behind many of our Indian success stories. He was a quiet achiever behind that, behind the facade. When he got the limelight, the one picture he chose to put of himself out there was with young people, with young minds. And that shows you what challenge we have in our country today is that we are a very tremendously young country. Our challenges are at providing innovation at scale. What is a good idea in Coimbatore could be a very bad idea in Gorakhpur. What is a great idea for schools in Sikkim and Meghalaya, because I just visited Northeast, they have different demands, they have different geography, different kind of people, different mindsets. You cannot translate that and go to Goa or go to Delhi and create the same structure, same policy and expect success. So our challenge is taking good ideas to scale, benchmarking the best that we can, that we have in among us, and taking that to scale. And if we are able to energize our young people to think and to partner with us and to really facilitate their growth, because it's a brave new world. India has done it before. A lot of things that are perhaps not recorded as well as in history. I was reading William Dalrymple's book on my flight here. And of course, we've, in our curriculum, when I was studying, I was taught about people from China, expert scholars who visited India, who reported on Nalanda. Huangsang was one of them. In the early 17th century, he went to Nalanda. He spoke about what it was, how we can imagine a university that there's thousands of scholars. He said there was lecture halls, lectures happening concurrently every day. experts, so many people, so many old scrolls and scriptures and written materials. There was a whole library that could parallel Alexandria. So, but what he has also said of import in William's book, he said that even in the 3rd century, from the Mauryan Empire, you have traces of Indian goldsmiths who would take the material called and go to what was the Golden Islands, the the Swan Deeps, the 7 kingdoms to our east, and they found traces in Krabi, Thailand, interior Thailand, of tools from the 3rd century with Tamil script on it. So we were once champion of new thought, new ideas, trade, open environments. Today we have passports, but we are not as open in flow of capital, enterprise and ideas as we perhaps were back in the 3rd century. And India had an immense position of leadership. So I think that is the ambition we must all harbor. Today when government is saying that we can be a developed country in our journey till 2047, it may happen in 2045. It might happen by 2050. But at least for the first time, we are galvanizing our young people, people across communities from different regions, telling them, you think about what role you can play. What is your role? How do you imagine yourself in this new landscape? And science has the biggest role to play there. We've been taught about how the difference between an art and a science, art is pure creative beauty at its best, and science is what you can replicate. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not a technical person, I'm not an engineer, my father was an engineer. Science is what you can, from theorem to practice, and you can replicate it many times. What I have seen here is art that is being replicated. It is a sheer beauty of an idea that is a pure scientific thought, and that is now being produced in a product or exhibited or manufactured in your factories in this park. So I just want to say to all of you, I welcome all the efforts, partnerships that you have struck, different ministries that are working together for this project. I commend the government of Andhra Pradesh, progressive visionary leadership of our current Chief Minister, who actually ideated this project way back in 2018. And 6 years is nothing as an institution. You are an infant right now. There's so much learning that's going to happen along the way. I can just state that from my perspective of my ministry, the challenge, the responsibility that I have been given, that my team and that the government is taking on its shoulder today, trying to solve problems with the 3rd approach in education and skilling. We shall partner EMTZ and the enterprises here to unleash the kind of innovation and change we require. Thank you.